Now, has everyone gotten over their MasterChef withdrawal symptoms at this point? No. I got hooked in, I'll be perfectly honest. What I really enjoyed was the fact that it was a show all about cooking, and all the characters were basically pretty friendly amongst each other, and yet each ad break was marked by an explosion! As you would fire everywhere! Apparently I missed the episode where they were cooking with C4. I wasn't quite sure what was going on there, but it fits. Because Channel 10 is the most aggressive of the TV networks. I mean, what's their weight loss show? Biggest Loser. What's their dance contest? Son, you think you can dance? I'm surprised MasterChef wasn't called, where the fuck's my dinner? And of course Channel 9, trying desperately to keep up with the cool kids, bought, for some reason, the rights to Dance Your Ass Off, which is a mashup of Biggest Loser and So You Think You Can Dance. And it's a shame that it died after 1 week, because I wanted to see what other mashups they were going to come up with. I would like to have seen MasterChef and Survivor. I think they could have been fun. And for the invention test this week, your mystery ingredient is Brian. I think that could have been a lot of fun. But the thing is, we give television a lot of power without realising it. It does, because it plays so much of a part of our evenings. Things do filter in that we don't always expect. I've been watching far too much of the Crime and Investigation Network on Foxtel of late. It's only after you've watched too much of these real crime stories that you realise Crime and Investigation Network is 24 hours of mayhem dotted with life insurance ads. The show that really got me was a recent discovery of mine. It's an American show but with an English narrator. They've gone for a bit of credibility, and it's called Diaries of Death. What I'm going to play for you is the way the narrator ends every single episode of this show.
Till then, sleep well, stay safe, don't die.
And isn't that a wonderful combination too, with the sleep well, don't die? I'm just picturing a parent tucking their child in. Did you have a good day, darling? Yeah, you sleep, you sleep, you sleep. I'm going to play that again, and I'm going to let it run for about an extra 1.5 seconds. What you need to know, I have not doctored what you're about to hear at all. It is purely as it is presented in the show.
Till then, sleep well, stay safe, don't die.
Random cow pops up at the end, which is just fantastic. Don't die, Bessie is watching. No, you relax, I got this. Some sort of milk-based security system, I'm assuming. We don't realise how much these things start to filter through. And anything that we pay attention to, we give some power to, and it starts to leak into the brain. I made the mistake of giving some of my attention to my sister's Wii Fit. The Nintendo Wii fitness program is not made for human dignity. First thing you do, by the way, can I hear by a round of applause? Who's familiar with this particular device? Let me hear. So I'm not the only person who's inflicted myself with this. First thing you do is you create an electronic rendering of yourself for the program. And it's on the Wii, so of course it's called a me. So I made my me, which is supposed to be me, I made that up. And, you know, I wear dark clothing, so that's what I've adorned my me with. You then enter into the system how tall you are, in my case 185 centimetres. You then stand on the foot pad and it weighs you. And at the time I weighed 107 kilograms. And next thing I know, the Nintendo has called me obese. Which I think is a bit harsh, but what is harsher is I then got to watch my me suddenly go and just fatten up before my very... It's like I'm looking at an emo tennis ball at this point, which is looking back at me going, don't blame me, dickhead, put down a hamburger occasionally. So I'm playing a particular balance game involving hula hoops. And I knew there was going to be one intake of breath from one person going, I've been there. I have suffered what you're about to speak of. So I'm into this game and I'm trying to keep the hula hoops up, and I'm being drawn into the reality of what's on the screen with the colour and the movement and the challenge. And my sister's family are not watching the television. They're watching me, as I'm giving it a bit of... Basically, shaking my moneymaker in a way that would make me no money. I've done very badly on the game, and up has popped the word unbalanced to describe my performance. Like, this thing has known me 20 minutes, and we've gone through obese and unbalanced. I'm fucking fat and crazy. Then I've received an SMS. I had a show to do that night, and an SMS was asking me if I was ready for that night's gig. And I've gone to respond with ready and raring. But my predictive text has gotten involved and decided raring was not in fact the word I was after. And I've hit send a bit too quickly, and according to the recipient of the message, I was ready and raping. And frankly, I think between these devices they come up with a rather harsh summation of my character. He's far more likely to just say raping than be raring, clearly. I'm too afraid to do one of those personality tests on Facebook just in case my laptop goes, "You're an asshole, don't touch me!" The news. Most people watch or read the news because that's how you want to connect with the world, find out what's going on. And you never know where this nugget of stupid is going to turn up. The most recent Star Trek movie, there was a particular town in Alberta, Canada, a very small town that was pitching to hold the world premiere because the town's name is Vulcan. They built up a bit of a tourism industry around Star Trek. Now, Leonard Nimoy got involved and went back into town. Paramount said no. You get to the end of the story, last paragraph of this page of news.com.au, and it said, Paramount Studios offered to hold a special screening for the residents, but said they couldn't actually host the premiere as they don't have a cinema. Surely this was going to come up at some point. Either that or they're going to go, well, we've got the reels. They're not very interesting while they're still in the box. No, apparently not. At some point someone had to twig. Either that or if that plan worked, then I had the next level ready to go. I was going to rename my couch St Kilda Football Club. And the next AFL Grand Final would be held at Unit. Tickets available for sale in late August. There'll be 3. And one very happy scalper. Sometimes you don't even have to get to the story. The following was a headline on the front page of news.com.au. Direct quote. Paris Hilton has nothing to do. And that was a link. You could click on that and find out more about her fuck all. This is amazing. This is like doing a story on the Humphrey Bear suit. Well, there's no one in it. No one making her do the happy pantsless dance. Which is what usually gets Paris in trouble in the first place. Late last year, this is stuck in my brain, the government impanelled a group to research the psychological effect of the drought on rural Australia. One of their findings was that we should stop using the word drought because the word is making the farmers feel bad. Not the lack of sky water being the problem, but the name for it. Their suggestion was that we don't say drought, we say dryness. How do we cope with floods? Dampness. Right, we have the new vocabulary guidelines. Stormy skies are now to be referred to as excited. Areas hit by bushfire will now be called could be greener. And economic department, yeah, we no longer have an economic crisis, we merely have a lot of can you spot me 20 till payday. Feel better. If you want to use a word to improve people's mood, use a word that will improve people's mood. Don't change drought to dryness, change drought to orgasm. That is a word about feeling good. Rural Australia is still recovering from the most intense and prolonged orgasms on record. Although who's keeping record of the orgasms? It's a little bit creepy. And not that they tend to have a lot to do with dryness. There it is, first reprimand noise for the night.